Hey guys, I'm going to show you this mod I want to do. I picked up this X-ardade, called a tank stick. I got it really cheap for like 60 bucks, and you know, when I saw it I thought that would be good because I wanted a little stick to where I could do with a trackball, and then I could do some testing on the PC or an Xbox, and this is going to work pretty well for me. So right now it's got a USB out the back, and that's good for that's a trackball. That works fine. If you want to plug it into a USB to Xbox adapter, that works. And then there's another adapter here. This is for both joysticks, and that's another USB. And that's actually both joysticks are wired up through that. And so the mod I'm going to do is, first I'm going to change all the buttons. Rather than have them all black, I'm going to change them to the Xbox layout. So I've got these red, yellow, green, white buttons, and then I'm going to leave these two black for the left and right trigger. So left trigger, right trigger. And then I'm going to put in, these are original Xbox S-type controllers that I've pad hacked, and I'm going to put those in to the bottom, and then I'm going to drill out a little hole. Maybe I'll use these holes. I don't really need those buttons. So I'm going to have a couple holes out there for the Xbox controller. They're going to be wired, which is fine for me because I'm going to be like at a little workbench or whatever, and they're decently long cords anyway. So so then I'll be able to use this tank stick on my original Xbox or PC without any trouble. The reason I use the original Xbox controller, which is, to be honest, a little more difficult to hack than an aftermarket one, is they have a common ground, and that makes it easier, so I don't have any crosstalk or anything between. I'm going to leave this up as a multi-cage. I'm going to flip this over just to show you the internals of these X-ardade sticks. So let me open it up here. I've already taken out the screws around it. There's actually not a ton of room in there, which you would think. A lot of it's just the top, right? So there's not as much room in there as you would think. But there is room for a couple pad hacks. I'm going to slide them in under there. They'll fit. And then I'll snake the cords through, and I think I'll just touch some solder on them and then tie into the ground. And since it's common ground, I can just tie into one of the grounds. I won't have to wire them all up to the ground. I'll just have to tie into one of the grounds and then set the signals up. And there, I think I'll just solder them on, because once this is on, I'm not opening it up again. I'm just going to put them back in, close it up, and it'll be a nice little testing station for me. So anyway, this is the pre-work. These are the stuff I need. I've already done quite a bit of work with these pad hacks, which actually takes a little bit of time. And then I've got the new buttons I'm going to do, so I'm going to replace those, and we'll come back and I'll show you when it's done or getting a lot closer to done. Okay, I wanted to show you just a little tip here. So you can see it's pretty tight in this box in here, and if you really want to, they do make little tools that you can get out and get that out, but even with your fingers it's kind of can be tough to get it loose. One thing you can do is grab this part of the button and just give it a twist. So I just turned it clockwise, boom, and it loosens the thread up. And usually I do that with the microcontroller or the micro switch in it. That way I don't risk breaking that, and so just do this one at a time. So once that's done, so I turned it kind of right, counterclockwise. You can, let's see here, just with your thumb, finger pull that button out, and I'll replace it with the blue button. So I finger tighten it, but then again, kind of do it in an opposite. Let me put this back on. what I do want to do is I want to get the controller lined up the way it was before. So in other words, the two little posts here like this, I want to get it the same direction. And actually I'm going to go a little bit past that, so a little bit of a turn, a right turn past it. Now I'll finger tighten it up, put the micro switch back on, and then I'll turn it again. This time I just turn, I grab and I turn counterclockwise, and that actually tightens the nut up onto the button. So that's just like a little tip that I find really useful, because especially in a tight area where you can't get a wrench down in there, or very well, and you're really worried about these wires. That's an easy way to loosen and tighten your nut there around the button. So I'm going to replace the rest of the buttons in here, and then get back to you. Okay, I've replaced all the buttons so they match the Xbox controller, and then I've secured these pad hacks in here, just to the side with one or two screws. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the tripod, and I'm just going to show you. I'm going to hook up the signal lines, and then I should be able to just hook up one ground, because all the grounds are connected, and that should work. We'll see how that works. Alright. Okay, this is finished up. I ended up actually pulling the encoder, the X-ardade encoder out, because it, whenever I would put up, when I started wiring the second controller, then it wasn't mapping right, so it would get, it just wasn't working right. So to have that and the Xbox controller on there. But anyway, so I just took that out and I wired everything up to where I've got, two Xbox controllers hardwired in. They're wired controllers, and then the Trackball is just a USB that comes out on the other end, and that actually works fine. So you've got it's all wired, but that'll be a nice little station for me to play around with. And let me flip it over and you can see the other side. I'd say the one thing I'll probably do is get just a USB encoder and add it, and then I intentionally put the signals on the top, so if I want to get a USB encoder, it would be really easy just to add them on, and then just tap into one of the grounds, and it should be fine. Pop this back on, flip this over. There we go. Actually, it screws, just screw that in. Okay, there it is. Yeah, actually I like it. I've already tested it out. It works really well. The trackball works, plays well, and then I can play with the Xbox on it. And the only thing, like I said, I want to add to it is I'll probably add the get a USB encoder. Probably go and look and find one, because if I do that, then I could use the same stick to play maybe a Raspberry Pi 3 or maybe a PS4 games and stuff like that. I just want to look and see which encoder I could get to do that. So I thought I would show this. It's just a little thing I was doing for myself. Alright, bye. Okay guys, I should say that how I'm getting this this trackball to work. The X-ardade comes out, the trackball is just a USB stick. So then I use that USB stick and then a USB to Xbox adapter, and then I plug this Xbox adapter into port 3 on my Xbox, and then the trackball works fine. Then it works fine. Anyway, that's it. I just thought I would share that little tidbit in case somebody asked. But yeah, I'm kind of liking this. It's a beast. I will say that's the only thing. It's kind of a big thing, but I like it because then I can use it to if I want to map controllers or whatever. It gives me. I mean, for an arcade game, or I want to work on my trackball pack, I can do that really easily right here at my little test bench, my little desk with the PC and everything. All right, bye.